I'm Tony Poulos and I'm at Communication 2015 in Singapore. Today I have with me Geoff Hollingworth, who is the Head of Product Marketing Cloud Systems at Ericsson. Geoff, welcome.
Thank you very much, Tony.
The adoption of cloud is increasing across all industries, but what effect is this having on telecoms operators and other industries?
Well, if we just start with the simple fact that all businesses want to do business faster. They want to do it more efficiently, and that they want to do better business. And the side effect of that is that really service and customer is getting closer and closer together. Everyone's becoming a service provider in essence as the future of their business. Now, telecom operators are no different in this field and this world. And you have to ask the question a little bit, is what is the problem then? Why aren't they doing that if it's so obvious? Well, old industry or existing industry we'll call them, has done very well at embedding services inside their operation and infrastructure. And these services, have lived for 10 to 100 years and been very few of them. The world that we're living in now isn't like that anymore. It's thousands of services and they have very short lifespans and they breathe in and breathe down again. So really what companies need to start thinking about is how they make a platform that enables them to deploy many services for short times versus one service for a long time.
It doesn't sound like an easy process. How much of a challenge is it for industries and who's going to help them to get there?
Well, it's not an easy process and it's not obvious because it actually touches not only technology, but it touches people, and people actually are a lot more difficult than technology and habit. So it's actually an overlap of deciding what do you want your business to be in the future, and then how do you need to best operate that, and then what technology gives you a platform to do it.
And Ericsson says it's not about the cloud strategy. I've heard this before. It's about digital industrialization strategy. It's a very hard word
Hard to say, right?
It is,
yeah.
It is. But what does that mean? What does digital industrialization strategy mean to a company or an enterprise?
Yeah, we're trying to change the conversation because again, cloud is a technology. So in essence, adding cloud technology to an existing operation just adds another piece of technology to an operation, becomes costly, expensive. So what we want to talk about is how can companies best leverage the assets they have and make them more efficient. And the process of industrialization is doing that. It's actually taking something that's ad hoc and like best effort in nature and translating it into something that's very machined in terms of operation, utilization, efficiency. And when you have that, then you almost have the perfect economic entity to play with.
But can you take existing data centers and servers and data sources and virtualize them? Is it easy to do that? Because cloud is all about virtualization, isn't it?
Well, so it's a process and it's a journey, to be very honest. So if we look at the world today in most large enterprises, if you ask simple questions like, how many servers have you got? Where are they? How old are they? What's running on them? Then many times you get an answer that says, well, actually, I don't really know. It's a bit like a farm before the industrialization happened that says, yeah, I have a few cows and I milk them by hand, and if someone puts an extra cow in, it's kind of okay. So what we actually see the process being is that you set up in parallel a very structured, organized IT infrastructure. So cloud is just the next generation of IT infrastructure. It's just the most efficient. And the reason it's the most efficient is because it's the most programmable. Because you can make it do what you want it to do and you can automate it.
So it sounds like you're making this platform like a service, more like a service. How does it provide competitive advantage for a company if they do that?
So the most successful companies of this era are the ones that are leveraging assets the most seamlessly. Now, the other interesting insight that we should say as well is that you don't have to own those assets. In fact, in this new era, in many times it's beneficial not to own those assets. Take Uber, for example, owns no cars but runs the most fast-growing taxi service. Airbnb owns no proproperties but
largest hotel operator in the world.
Largest hotel operator. So it's the actual exponential leverage of assets, whether you own them or not. And then the advantage that some large companies have is that they do own assets that are incredibly valuable. So when you own assets that have differentiation, like a telecom operator that owns an access network, make them programmable, make them available, put the complexity underneath the platform and let people play on top.
It all makes incredible sense, and I think Ericsson's right at the head of it, so I wish you all the best. Thanks for spending time with me today, Geoff.
Thanks very much, Tony.
Thank you.